what's up, guys? Provided we fall here. Look, I'm gonna explain this very quickly, and it'll look. I'll tell you exactly what the fuck is going on, and from the ventilator, from the hot spots, the fake hospitals, what's going on, the ventilators, why lungs are being thrashed. I know this because I've had pneumonia several times, and I study electromagnetic radiation and millimeter waves on the body, and 5G happens to be a millimeter wave. So what's going on is this is exactly what's going on. Okay, first of all, they're ramping. Okay, I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg, but the Italy, okay, Wuhan, the and the Diamond Princess, and some expensive, a couple expensive resorts in Italy, and maybe one other hotspot that offered 5G. They just turned it on and rolled it out. The day, remember, they had the cruise ship, people were sick, people or whatever. Now, next, what did doctors baffled on the thing? What the fuck? They on their diagnosis, because they would see the symptoms and it would say they were finding the symptoms that would say, and it is deadly. Every time this happened, they had to turn back the 5G machine, because they're running or run it on a lower gigahertz. It's on a 60 gigahertz or 600, whatever, 6 gigahertz, 660 megahertz, whatever it is. Okay, that 5G runs on millimeter waves. Okay, listen to what millimeter waves do to the air around us. Okay, the air that we're breathing. If I'm on a cruise ship, say, or wherever 5G is at affecting the air, what it does, because they're millimeter waves, microwaves aren't small enough to do it, but the 5G's millimeter waves are smaller, so they're able to do it. And what it does is it excites in the air. It excites the oxygen molecules, right? They're bound together, and they have, their electron, whatever, the atoms binding together. So the oxygen molecules, when you breathe the air in, if they're excited from the 5G, okay, waves, the hemoglobin in your lungs cannot absorb the oxygen out of the air, okay? And therefore, you could have the best lungs in the world. It doesn't matter. So the way, so they're like not getting air, and what they're doing is putting them on ventilators because they're not wanting to admit it's 5G, or they're not wanting to understand it or something. But they're putting them on ventilators like, oh, they can't breathe. And it's just what a ventilator does. I unplugged my dad. When he died, I unplugged his ventilator, literally. And because it was breathing it was pushing his lungs up and down, but in his oxygen, there was, it was getting whatever oxygen it could. So they're putting things on people on ventilators that are perfectly fine lungs, and it's pushing on the lungs and pulling. That's what it does. It push. It's like someone sitting there doing this to you, right? And it's just thrashing their lungs, because that's not the problem. That's not the problem. And every doctor is going, if I was going to look at this, I would say, I would diagnose that of altitude sickness as if someone was just dropped on the top of Mount Everest. That's what we're finding. Now the next thing I've just now, and this is what made me write that. I mean, I've been trying to get this out. Please share this. This is very important, this video. And then, so they're just trying to get all this, they're politicizing and weaponizing and using this to piggyback. That's why they need to inflate the numbers, probably for the election, whatever, for plans for our future, for this whole smart grid bullshit, and to get rid of people, whatever. Okay. All I'm saying is that's what it is. There's no virus. It's just a flu. You know, I had it like 2 months ago. Everybody did. Most people did. It was a bad one, but they're using that, and then they thought it was going to be worse than it was. It wasn't. Blah blah blah. So yeah. And I'm not. I don't know about the politics of it or any. I mean, I'm not. I do, but I'm just telling you. This is what it is. This is what they're saying. This is what's happening. Because all the hotspots, where it started in Wuhan, the Diamond Princess, the place in Italy, and they're the first. They rolled out 5G, first ones, and then that happened right when they did it, like right, and people were just falling like this, boom, right. With no oxygen, blue lips. I mean, believe me, I've brought people back from overdosing on heroin 100 times. I know the blue lips and gray skin, and I've seen people, many people die. I've been with them, so I know the gray and blue lips. Okay, from lack of oxygen and dying from lack of oxygen. And when the doctors explained the symptoms, I understood it immediately. Because I had chronic pneumonia. I had pneumonia like 50 times after, plus all the people that I brought back. So I have experience in it, and I just wanted to tell you guys. Oh, now next, here's the other thing. The guy had said altitude sickness. I know that when my lungs, because I have scar tissue, which is what those respirators are doing to the fucking people that don't have fine lungs, but they're not understanding it, and they're hooking them up to ventilators, and it's pushing their lungs. But that's not the problem. The problem is the 5G in the air excites the molecules, and your hemoglobin can't grab the blood out of the oxygen out of the blood because it's spinning. So your body's not getting it. So anyway, regardless, I only have like 1.5 lungs. Okay. Plus I smoke and everything else. But when I get pneumonia, or when I used to, my fingertips would go numb and my toes. Okay. Cause your body will, sacrifice its extremities first before it sacrifices its, like, your kidney or your arm, whatever, because you can live without fingers and toes. That's why frostbite, shit like that. So listen, and then I also, it would get numb right here when I had no oxygen. It would turn bluish. It was weird. Like, I guess that's one part of the whole blue lip thing when you're no oxygen. But anyway, my fingers would get numb, right? Which actually recently is happening because I have a shitty cold. I hope. Anyway, yeah. So just now, right before I came on, because I saw this thing saying COVID. We found another symptom that COVID patients are having or had is these. Sores that look like that are like blue sometimes and black, frostbite basically. I looked at it. I've seen frostbite. I've been with people that got frostbite, when we're doing snow, whatever. Okay. I've seen it. I've been there. I've treated it. So that's what it looked like. And they said, I mean, and the doctor's saying altitude sickness and the lack of oxygen and stuff, that's what causes it. It uses your body detours the oxygen to where it's more needed. That's part of when you get frostbite. So that now they're saying that's another symptom of COVID-19 is the tips of your toes and fingers could be blue or no, turn blue and shit and sore. So I'm like, oh my God, people wake up, you guys, come on. All right, it's time. Y'all are a bunch of fucking, are you adults? Like everyone's inside like they're grounded. Come on, you guys, people. No, what's one guy to tell another guy not to or to do something? Okay. And people, if they have it, wear a mask. Not people that don't have it. No, that's wrong. And don't look at me or anyone else that chooses not to wear a mask like they're doing something wrong. They're trying to divide us. Like it's fucked up. There's so many. If I named how many measures they're getting out of this bullshit scamdemic, do you know why I figured why it is a fucking coup de grace, whatever it is, money, too, because it's and also tiptoe tyranny. I mean, it feels like so many different check boxes toward totalitarian government and us being more away from each other and less protesting. Everything that goes in their favor, the government, a police state, authoritarian, totalitarian police state like China or something. It's surveillance state, right? Okay, and then they're doing all this right now. When I go out, I've gone out. I've gone out, and I'm telling you what's out there, and it's not cool. It's not cool. Wait till you guys go outside and shit and see all what they've done. They've got all the trees done. They've done all stuff. However, it is beautiful. The earth is like, oh my God, thank you. I can breathe. The earth is smiling like a motherfucker. And the air is so clear. That to me is worth all the money and governments in the world. Fall, motherfuckers. I don't give a shit, man. If for the earth, if there's no earth, there's no us or governments. That's stupid. So that's why how come I know it's not true. And listen, if this is a real pandemic, like really, okay, to where you have to shut down the country for months, okay, you would know there'd be bodies. You would already have handled many bodies, okay? And no, I'm sorry, more people die from like, constipation, anything. Like, I mean, way less than even the regular yearly flu diagnosis. Oh, well, we overestimated it. Well, then what are we doing here still? People need to go to work then, okay? It's over. Your body is the vaccination. The vaccination is the disease. Think about that. All right. I love you guys. Bye. Don't believe the bullshit.